Dig that. Okay, dig that, y'all. We back in the building. Sherrod, TKT 901, the King Table 901. We got a special edition tonight in light of some things that have been going on and happening in Brazil that we want to try to bring a special light to. Of course, I've been watching from this side and watching what's been going on. You know, with my guy, we all know what's going on in Brazil with the women. And, a group of women that's not happy with the way some things are going. I'll say it like that. My guy, Marman, DJ Marman Sue is here. He's been in Brazil for about 14 years, and he'll be able to offer us another perspective that we may not be able to see um, as Americans here because he's been there so long and connected with a lot of the people. He's been there 14 years, so he's well connected there. And I'll let him kind of, yeah, man, I'll let you kind of chime in on what you've been hearing, not the feedback from the person that we're talking about is Austin Holloman. I'll say it like that. He's been involved in the situation there, and I've seen his interview and his response to what has happened. But I want to get your perspective, the true perspective from what you're hearing on the grounds there.
Okay. So since you already mentioned his name, Mr. Austin Holman, I actually met the brother a couple of weeks ago. No, maybe a couple of months ago. Actually, I had a gig of mine, and he was sitting there. You know, I recognized that he was American, so I tried to approach the brother and talk to him. You know, he seemed really standoffish, really cold and closed. You know, which sometimes can be expected. Excuse me.
Right.
But I kind of read into his energy and his profile, and I realized that he's kind of a little arrogant kid. But even still, after that, you know, being, you know, that is a young brother, first time or his first couple of times in Salvador or whatever, and I still reached out to him to try to, you know, talk to him, see where his head was at. Right. So, you know, after that, I didn't see him again, but I knew that he was in Salvador. People would tell me about him. Also, Philly Don was out here, so, you know, he told me about him. And I was like, you know, send him my contact, have him hit me up. He never hit me up, and I always find that really strange. Then I got a friend of mine from Sao Paulo. His name is Byron. He sent me Austin's video, and he was like, yo, who is this arrogant little kid? Like, what is he talking about?
Right.
You know, because the video that he sent me was like, oh, you know, Salvador is not worth it. You know, if you want to go, you know, if you're out here coming out here to have fun, if you're coming out here to have sex, it's better to go to like Rio or Sao Paulo.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know,
yeah,
you know, those places are better. And that, like, yeah, you sent me that one too. So, you know, I've never watched any more of the videos. I've seen the titles, and it just doesn't interest me. But what has happened, and you know, just popped up on my feed and Instagram today, is that, you know, one of the sisters that he ran into, I don't know if it was here or if it was in Rio, but she basically called him out because what he's doing by his post is promoting sex tourism. You know, we all know that the system in the United States, you know, it programs our mind states and our paradigm so that, you know, there's a lot of anger and angst in between Black men and women in the States. You know, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of things that we have to get over with in order to really truly be completely together. And a lot of us aren't actually ready to do that kind of work, that kind of introspection. So a lot of us men, we do decide to travel out of the States in search of love and companionship. However, you know, if you're in search of love and companionship, that's a good thing. And it doesn't matter where you find it or where you get it, in what country or state or whatever. Right. But if you're traveling and you're just out for sex, if you're just out for easy sex, if you're just out to get laid easily, that's a different problem. And that's a different monster. One, it's not safe for the person who's doing it. Aside from STDs and possibly getting somebody you don't want to spend the rest of your life with pregnant, there's also people that get set up because of it. You know, you go out
Right.
there, like, you know, like a little fresh duck out of the pond, like, this girl is giving me some shine. You know, I'm gonna go out to the favela, and you end up, you know, in somebody's house, and it's 5 dudes, you know, stay
Right.
kicking on your money out of your bank account.
Yeah. Well,
You know, so stuff like that.
let me ask you this, because you said something that I heard him talk about, because he's really saying that, hey, I'm not promoting sex tourism. I love Brazilian women, and I say that Brazilian women are better than American women all the time. So that he's kind of saying that in his defense, that he's always speaking highly of Brazilian women. So obviously there's a disconnect between what he feels he's saying to them versus
Yeah,
what they're feeling. They're being, they're watching him. And I've heard
yeah.
that word, unfortunately, I've heard that word a couple times, arrogant. That arrogance, man, it doesn't go well over in other
No, it doesn't go over well. Pride and arrogance, man, that's the downfall.
And the young brother, man, I applaud the young brother for leaving the States and having the courage to come over there. But as I'm a little older, we're a little older, and we're like, hey, bro, the block hot now. It's like
Yeah.
if back in the States we'll call it like that. Okay, little bro, you got the block hot. Now the block hot, bro.
Yeah, now the police coming for you, you know?
You understand?
Like,
So
and
now,
the problem is, the big problem is there's a bunch of us out here. You know, there's
right,
a bunch of African American, Black American men that live out here. We've been living out here for a while.
right,
And, you know, I know as much as everybody else knows that's been living here for, you know, more than 3 years. Like,
mhm,
there's a point when you first get here, you know, and people look at you like that American dude that's just coming out for sex.
right,
And you have to work, you know, to
yeah,
get past that image. And we've all done that work, and we've been able to make it so that, you know, other Black men that come out here or other, you know, don't have that same light on them.
we talked about that.
You know, and we put in the work so that, you know,
Right,
when people come here, you can have a normal life. And then for somebody to come here that ain't been here for more than 5 months and start talking like this, you
right,
know, that's disrespectful, one, to our Black women here, because they've got enough to deal with. They got enough to
right,
fight with. You know, this the machismo culture here, the sexism culture here, the
right,
racism here. You know, they get it all. They get it from our Black Brazilian brothers, and they also get it from other races and ethnicities here in Brazil.
right, right,
So, you know, for this Black dude, you know, who's supposed to be coming for the most part to build our people, to build the bridges, he's coming out here and he's destroying bridges that were made by other people. You know,
I think that's important, because I don't know if he realizes that, like, and that's one of the reasons why I wish that he would talk to an American that's been there a lot longer, like
mm-hmm.
yourself or someone like that could give him a different perspective on their culture, because people think different across the world. I mean, we may think
Yeah,
one way in the States, but it's a whole nother animal in the DR, in Brazil, and places like that. Their thought process may be
yeah,
different than what you are used to seeing or hearing, and it behooves you to humble yourself and listen.
exactly. That's
Because
the word.
the last thing I want to see, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, the last thing I want to see is one of us hurt there, whether it be Austin or any of us. I don't
Yeah,
want to see the young brother hurt, and I hope he kind of dials it back a little bit, and at least say, hey, look, I don't know what he'll do, but but if it was me, I'd be like,
yeah.
hey, look,
I mean, right now, oh man,
yeah,
I don't know if y'all can hear me. I got a crazy watch
that's all good. It's all
Oh, let me see if I can get
yeah,
a better spot.
yeah,
My washing machine about to go into spin mode.
yeah. And I want to say, I mean, the purpose of this is not to beat the brother up. It's about education and trying to better it, because I'm due to come there in March, man. And I was like, whoa, what I mean? I don't want to be coming there, and all the work we've done, man. We've shot content on grounds. We're building relationships with the brand, and we throwing rooftop parties and building relationship for real estate and all these positive things. And the last thing I want to happen is to get there and be like, everybody's looking at me with even more of a side eye. Now I got to prove more that I'm a businessman and not a simp or somebody coming over there just to, I can, so hey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's concerning.
You know, we are out here trying to really build unity along the diaspora. Like we're out here trying to build communities. We're out here trying to build real connections with people. You know, real business connections, real personal connections, whether it be romantic or just friendly. You know, but like real. We're not trying to come out here and exploit anybody. Like we are not supposed to be gringo. Like there's a thing, and somebody was telling me about this just now, literally, like while I was at dinner. And this Brazilian guy was like, yeah, most black people come here and they really can't be gringo. The term gringo is really used for white people.
Right.
Because white people usually come out here with this explorative notion, and they want to take and take and take and take. And they basically the vampire mentality. But he was like, you can, as a black man, end up being a gringo by the way you act.
Right.
And that's what Austin is doing. Like he's coming out here and he's like being a true gringo, but he's just black. And that has more offense to it. I was talking to my girlfriend Gabby.
Wow.
It offends the women more because he's black. Like they can expect it from a white dude, she said. Right. Like, it wouldn't be as surprising if it was a white dude saying it. But because it's a brother that's coming out like this, they're hurt. Like my girlfriend, when I told her about this, she was pissed. She'd been talking about this all day.
Yeah. And I want to talk about something because there's this delicate line there that I see between promoting a sex culture and just kind of explaining the difference between the Brazilian women and the women from the USA. And that line is very, very, man, it's very, very thin, to cross.
It's so thin you don't want to go close to it.
Right, because you risk disrespecting these women when you say, you say in one breath, they're beautiful, they're great, and all this. But then the next breath, you say, well, it's not going to take you 6 months to get in bed with them. It'll only take you, let's say, a week or a day or two or whatever. Well, that makes those look like some easy, cheap women. And I don't know if they're actually, digging that. You know what I mean?
No, they don't do that at all. The one thing that my girlfriend was saying, she was like here they're exploring their sexual liberty. And she was like, so what's the difference, like, if you're a man and you meet a girl on a first date, the first time you meet a girl, you want to go out and smash. What's the difference between a woman who meets a guy and is like, okay, the chemistry is good, or, he might be leaving tomorrow and like the only time we got is now. What's the difference? And it's true. What's the difference? If they're both consenting adults, it's about, the desire to do what it is they want to do. It doesn't make them easy or not, because I've met Brazilian girls who like were super friendly and going out on dates and nothing ever happened. And I use all my artillery, like all the game I knew, all the game I had, plus all the game my uncles and my dad gave me. I threw everything out there for nothing.
Yeah.
And I spent money. So it's like, to say that Brazilian girls are easy, man, one, you're generalizing, and two, you're just putting a bad light on a lot of the work that a lot of people have done, not just Black Americans, but like the Brazilian women themselves. Like the Brazilian women here lead the revolution, bro. Yeah. Like it's the Brazilian women that are the activists here. It's not the dudes. And the black Brazilian dudes ain't doing nothing, man. Well, it's the women leading this thing.
See, that's what we're talking about. That perspective that you have because you've been there so long, the culture. And, where we might be thinking one way, the culture may be another way. Now you got this feminine on, bro. She got over 20,000 likes on that video, man. It's something serious, bro. And then I'm concerned about the young man man, like seriously, like I don't want anything to happen, bro. And
Yeah,
it's been some stuff said, man. Can you elaborate on that? Like, we ain't gonna say what they, you know what I mean, but you know what I mean. It's not safe. It might not be safe.
yeah. I mean, they trying to get him kicked out the country, and that's like the least of his problem. I mean, I'm gonna be straight with y'all. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the projects. When I heard like, and this was before what happened today. When I heard some of what he was saying, I was like, yo, if I see this dude, if I catch this dude, I'm slapping the taste out of his mouth. And that was from before this episode this morning. Like the videos that I saw, I was like, yo, this kid, he needs to just stop. Like he needs, like back in the days, and when I was a kid, right? You know, I was like 12, 13. I was in the Decepticons. I was the third generation of Decepticons. The first and second generation would slap you in your face if you disrespected anybody
Right.
in the street. Not just anybody, not just somebody in the gang. If you was a third generation DSET, you know, anybody under 15, and you walk past somebody's mom's or an old lady and said something out of pocket, you got checked.
Right. Right.
And when I seen it, what he was doing, I was like, yo, somebody needs to check this kid. And that's why I was reaching out to him. I was like, yo, man, you know, hit me up. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's rap. Let me school you on some things right quick, because Brazil is a big community, brother. You know, in the States, you know, we got the media, you know, and people will shut you down for the media. But here, word gets around fast, and it's word of mouth. And you know, this is like, you know, when it gets rough, it gets like jungle rough, like especially depending on what state you in. You know, he's safer. He would be safer here in Salvador than it would be in let's say Rio. Like if he come across the wrong girl in Rio who got connections in a favela, that's it, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. They don't want to even find him anymore.
Well, see, that's bro. That's the reason why I'm doing this live, man. Because I reached out to a couple people, and there's some people, man, that's kind of on the fence. Oh, they just hating on a brother, or they just trying to, you know what I mean? He didn't say that or didn't say this, bro. It ain't even about that right now. It's not about what you said at this point. It's about how they perceive what you said.
Exactly.
It's about how they perceive what you're doing. That's reality right now. It's not your defense of what you're doing, brother. It's how they're receiving you. And I hope he take heed to that, bro, because I mean, I like the young cat, man. He'll swallow the dude, man, but he's just young, bro. You just need to,
I mean, he looks like a smooth guy. He's well dressed. He's well spoken. His arrogance is what gets in his way, though. Like he really needs to like humble himself and like my dad would say, rule number one, especially in new places, you keep your ears open, your eyes open, your mind open, and your mouth shut. Especially in new places. You gotta see what's going on. You can't just walk up in there saying what's what in somebody else's home.
Okay, hold it. We're gonna touch on that because it seems to be this idea that you can walk in a man's house, see what's going on, say what's what, kiss it. We call it kissing and telling where I'm from. You know what I mean? You never really kiss and tell. You know what I mean? You can, you know, toe that line, but when you get too far with it, now we talking about something else. So you basically cross that line with them in their eyesight. You know, and it's serious, right? This is not something that should be taken lightly, right?
No. This is something unlike anything I've ever seen before. Literally, people are in an uproar about this. Like I got this post about what he said from a popular pro-black website.
Wow.
So it wasn't even this girl Stephanie's Instagram page that I got it from, because I don't follow her. I got this from a prominent, like one of the top 4 pro-black websites in Brazil.
Well, I don't want this, and the reason, like I said, I want this to be because there seems to be this idea that, oh, I've heard people talking about, oh, Austin can sue the woman for doing what she did. He needs to get a lawyer. Bro, are you serious?
You got a countersuit.
Yeah, you know.
She has a countersuit. She could sue him. I mean,
Right.
and then there's another thing, and this is something big because he was doing videos on the beach.
Uh-huh.
So there are people that he did interviews with on the beach in these videos that he asked certain questions, and one of them was actually American here in Salvador, and it was the question. The question was actually, do you guys prefer a rich nice guy or a poor dude, a well endowed poor dude?
I remember that question. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so
it was more like a bad boy. He was saying, do you rather have a bad boy that's
so now
with
with this coming up, she's like, well, the answer that she said, he used it in a way that to promote what he's trying to promote his point of view that they're easy or whatever, they're basically prostitutes, when it wasn't that. So now she's like, well, my image is in the video.
Wow.
And then there's another girl who he filmed her dancing in the video, and she's like, well, so there's that, the use of the images of the people. Now that you become an enemy of the state, they're gonna pick at you. They're gonna pick the little things that wouldn't have made a difference had you not crossed that line.
And see, that's what I want to get out there. And this is a unique perspective because you're there. You've been there 14 years. It's impossible to get a snapshot of a country in 5 months, bro. You don't know what you're doing.
Not in 5 months.
You can't get it in 5 months. I don't care how suave you think it is, how smart you think you are, whatever. You can't get it in 5 months, bro. And even if you've been out there for a year or 2 years, bro, you still don't have it. You got to be there for some time to learn.
Yeah, and you gotta go through the movements. You gotta, because there's so much happened, so many different movements and progressions and downfalls and progressions and movements. Like when I came here, they did the first kinky hair march. It was like the first Black power march, but it was more of a Black aesthetic power. It's like everybody who used to wear processed hair and weaves, and just like they started wearing their hair natural. Right. So that was back in 2012. That was the first one. And then there were like many different movements. There was the more like the LBGT liberation movement, and then out of that birthed this Black woman power movement. It's not necessarily LGBTQI whatever. It is not necessarily hetero, but it's Black women actually standing together and creating this force here that is crazy. If you cross that line, man, there is nothing
anybody can do.
Yeah, nothing anybody can do for you. You just have to apologize profusely for years until they forgive you.
And see, that's what I'm trying to get at, bro. Like, it's up to us that are a little bit older to tell him, hey, bro, and we can only say it. If he listens, he listens. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Hopefully this live will find him, bro, and he'll reach out, because I'm concerned. I'm really truly concerned about his safety. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man, because those countries, man, them people in them countries don't play, bro. This is not
they don't play.
Local hood.
They don't play.
Dallas,
they don't play. And I promise you, if he come across because there's some girls in the favela that are top 100 most beautiful girls on the planet,
right?
And if they got a cousin who's a drug dealer,
right,
or connected to a drug dealer, and they feel offended by anything that he said, these dudes are not going to blink. They're not even going to think twice.
And that's
they're not, and it's really that serious,
And like I said, we don't want to. We trying to be informative here, because I know how people are. Oh man, there's this hating, blah blah blah. No, bro, we genuinely concerned about. You know what I mean? Because this is a real true concern, man.
Yeah, and this, I'm concerned about the quiet as kept. This is what we're dealing with, is something political. You know, it's not on the political level of, you know, presidents, heads of states, but it's political for us as a people.
Right.
You know, where we have been years trying to create a bridge to bring us together. This one thing could create a rift that we're gonna have to walk backwards a couple of steps and reconstruct.
Because the people, the women there especially, and the men are gonna all of a sudden start reevaluating why we're there.
Exactly.
Why are you? That's the first part. Why you here, bro?
What you here for?
What are you here for? And the first time you pull that, hey, what's up, baby, or whatever you're trying to do, it's a wrap. It's over. Oh, you one of them.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to avoid, you know. And it, you know, it starts like that, man. It started out like that in the DR too, man. As soon as brothers start finding out about the DR, so Sue and all these places, they start running down. Now, man, boy, it's hot. You know what I mean? It's hot. And then the natives there, you know, they don't play. They're like, okay, here we go with these arrogant Americans or whatever, coming over here thinking they run the place because they got money. They don't have to work because they didn't learn how to, you know, get residuals while we busting our ass over here working, and you coming over here flaunting and flossing. You know what I'm talking about? You flossing as they say. Even if you correct, bro. If you floss like that, man, it's somebody in the cut, man. It's somebody watching. Somebody in the cut, man. Always. Whether they hating, what do you want to say? They right or wrong? It don't matter.
Yeah. So yeah, man. My thing would be to him, man. If I could say anything to him, man, it's like be humble and be careful, man. You know, rule number one: ears open, eyes open, mind open, and mouth shut. Like I gotta go on Instagram tomorrow and address this, yo. And like,
really?
Yeah, like everybody's like, yo, you're the only one that can say something.
Yeah, but that's why I brought you on, bro. That's what I'm saying. You've been in it a long time, man. They know who you are. You've been DJing a long time. Afro Punk, the latest festival. I mean, you've been in all types of festivals. They know who you are. So, I mean, you, quite frankly, you have a voice there.
Yeah.
Not just somebody that's popped up 5 months ago and then, you know, giving your opinion on what the country is or what the people are like or what the culture is like, and almost making yourself an authority of what it is because you've been there 5 months. And people look at that like, man, bro, you just got here, you know?
You're like, who is this kid? Yeah, I mean, shoot, my homie, my like, you know, brother, my spiritual brother and business partner here, you know, he stays in the cut. He don't like to be exposed, you know, he don't even do much on Instagram, but he hit me up. He was like, yo, man, what's going on here, bro? It's like, and my dude, he's big. Like, he's like, yo, man, if I see this kid, man, I'm gonna have to, we gonna have some words. Because now he gotta like shave his beard and his mustache because they look similar.
Oh man. Wow.
So he's like, man, you know, this is like, we've been putting in work to make it a community to build this community that we have. And like some kid that really has no consequence other than, you know, physical danger a little bit, but really has no other consequence but being deported or having to go back home to the state.
Yeah.
You know, his actions can have a ripple effect that'll affect us.
Right, exactly. That's
in the future brothers and sisters coming out here.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I planned on being, and you know, like I said, man, everybody got their channel, and views and what they believe a person should be like. I've asked questions. What about this? What about that? I've heard people talk, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. The man, brother. Okay, bro, you know what I mean? It ain't like you met every woman in Brazil now. You know what I mean? You just met the few that you met, and that's cool. You know, but all women, man, ain't looking for a certain thing. They may not be looking for that. You know what I'm talking about? They may be looking for something else. You know, they may be want to look for some substance, I should say. They don't care what you look
somebody
like.
Intelligent.
Yeah, they don't care what you look like physically so much, but they do, but they don't. Everybody care about you. Physically, I want to downplay it because I work on that myself. But I think my man is lost. Let's see if I lost him. Yeah, I lost him. Hope he come back in. But yeah, man, you know, it's crucial. This is crucial, and I'm gonna send send this video out to the people that I know, because I think the people, a couple of OGs that I know, man, should you know, link this up. So maybe
Yeah.
I'm hoping he sees it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I do too, man.
and my guy Fred too, vibing with Fred. I hope he sees it too, man. Both of these cats are young cats, man. I love their channels. I love their channels and stuff like that. But you know, I was talking to Fred earlier, man, and you know, and I told him about the rooftop party that we did, man. And he knows about Laura Froya also. He knows her, he says. So
Okay.
bro, you know, but that arrogance though, when people talking to you and you want to be arrogant when they talking to you, that need to kind of, you know,
simmer down now, simmer down now.
Yeah. And like I said, I dig them both, man. There's some suave cats, man. But you know, at some point you gotta listen to some OGs, elders, and say, hey man, hey, I dig what you're doing.
And life has a way of humbling you, man. So like if you're not gonna humble yourself, life find a way. You know, better listen to your peers and your friends and family than, you know, have life have to do it for you.
Yeah. Cause like I said, man, and like that one video I saw, man, it was like 20,000 likes on that thing, man. You know, people, you know, going in. I'm like, oh, wait a minute now, bro. Yeah. These people going in, that's a large number, man, of people going in that you don't know. They could be standing on any corner at any time.
Exactly. And those 20,000 people that liked and commented, each one of those people have how many number of people that think like them and connected to them and following them and seeing what they post, and they may not manifest themselves on the post, but they may manifest themselves other ways, you know?
Right. So, man, I hope he's taking it serious and, you know, kind of staying in or something for a minute because it can get bad really fast there. It can get
bad. Man. Austin, bro, keep your mouth shut for a second. Just relax. Apologize, please, if what you said and what they're saying, what they interpreted from what you said is not what you meant, then you need to make that extremely and abundantly, absolutely clear, and apologize for the misunderstanding that you have caused.
Yeah, I agree, man. Sometimes it's just better to just humble and this F you thing and man, don't give up. Okay.
My bad. I want to apologize for what happened.
Yeah, just say this is my bad. You know what I mean?
Say I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Just let it be.
Because obviously something's brewing under the table that he doesn't realize. I think, you know what I mean. Just it may be a little bigger than he realizes that it's. It's more.
Absolutely. I don't think he figured. I don't think he understands how big it is. I don't think we understand how big it is.
Yeah, because you know, getting YouTube subscribers and all that stuff and going viral is exciting and all that stuff, but make sure you go viral safely. You know what I mean? Like,
don't go viral and get shot. It's not worth it.
Yeah, man. So you know, like I said, man, it's all good, man. But I wanted to bring you on and get that perspective out there because I feel like it's important, man.
Yeah, it is. I appreciate it though, man. I'm glad. Thanks for giving me a voice and like everybody out there. If y'all know Austin, please hit him up. Let him know. You know, humility is a very, very, very valuable trait.
Yeah, and man, he needs if he can link up with you, man, he need to do that, man, because and
he don't gotta come talk to me personally. We can look up on a live and just that.
Right. So you can just give him a different perspective, man. Rap with him, and go from there, man. That's the point, man. But man, it is what it is, man. You know, there's enough said. We don't have to go even further because we said it all pretty much. So
But bro, let me get off this joint. I got 2 shows tomorrow, and I still gotta figure out how to organize one.
Okay.
Trying to figure out the speakers. But this was important, man. This was very important. We had to make sure we get this done.
Okay. All right, man. Well, you know how I do, man. We keep working, so man, we'll be up.
All right.
Getting up with you.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, peace. One.
Yep.